The first time I heard the voice of the Holy Spirit, uh, I had heard once prior to this, um, years uh, before I was even born again. I heard the audible voice of God. He spoke to me once. I was in a very bad situation in my life, and I was crying out to Him, and and um, and He answered me. But that's a story for another time. But the first time I heard the voice of the Holy Spirit, uh, it was after I was born again. I was on the assembly line working, and I hadn't been born again very long at all. You know, like not very long at all. and you know, you still have these worldly views and ideas. You know, you have to renew your mind to this word. You have to get in the word, and you have to renew your mind. Um, you know, it says He restores our soul. Well, that's your mind, will, and emotions. He will restore them to what they're supposed to be, and that's in here. so, uh, so anyway, I was working, and I started talking to this guy Lynn, which was a Christian friend of mine at work, and I don't know how we got on the subject, but I started telling him. I said, man, I said, you know, I believe that you could, that you know that there's mind power, or you know the like the ability to move things. If you could, like if I could focus on this book hard enough or whatever, then you know I could make that book move, or I could, you know, there's like a, I don't know what you call it, all that mess, but I knew a little bit more about what I was saying back then anyway. But and he's leaning across the car talking to me, and he's like, "No, man," he says, "you don't understand. That's dangerous stuff. You don't want to be involved in that and everything." And I'm like, "Well, no, yeah, really. I mean, you know, there's something to all this stuff and everything, you know." And he's like, "No, really, man. I'm telling you." He says, "That's bad stuff. You don't want to get involved in anything like that, you know." And I turned around to get the parts that we have to put on the car, you know. And as I turned around, all of a sudden on the inside of me, I heard the voice of the Holy Spirit for the first time. And he said, and it was a correction. And he said, "Don't you challenge him. You know better than that," is what he said inside my heart at that moment. It was very clear. and I was like, whoa. And instantly I did know better. At that moment, when he said, "You know better," I knew better right then. And but I didn't care that I just gotten corrected. I was so excited that I just heard the voice of the Holy Spirit. I turned right back to the car, and I said, "Lynn, let me tell you what just happened." I said, "I just turned around, and the Lord," just told him what the Lord said. And his jaw dropped, you know. And I was just so excited that, you know, like I said, I didn't care that he just corrected me. I was just so happy to have heard his voice. Yeah, oh man. It was it was so funny, you know. Uh, children, you know, you get born again, you're walking into a whole new world, and it's just so wonderful. And God is so good. Um, get to know Him. Get to know Him. He's so fun. He's so full of love and caring. Oh, it's so good. It's just a whole different world than the one we live in, and it's such a great place to be. Talk to you soon.